the future of our home is in jeopardy.
It would be devastating for this community. Like, it would be dire.
The fact that our own government's doing that, we got to do something about it.
It's mortifying. The more research I do into this, it's almost scary what you learn that's going on.
Butler, Pennsylvania is a town of about 13,000 people. It's located 35 miles north of Pittsburgh.
It's working class, blue collar all the way. We get it done in Butler County.
The Butler Works has been operating here for over 100 years.
This plant is the very heart and soul of this community.
My grandfather worked at the plant, as did my father, and in many families throughout our community, it's generational. We make two types of electrical steel here. Non-grain oriented electrical steel, which is like for electric motors, which is the fast growing market, which is for EVs. The secondary and the more limited and the more refined materials, the grain oriented electrical steel, and that would be for the chargers, for the charge stations and the charging network.
This is one of the biggest employers and certainly one of the best paying employers around here. This is a good quality union job.
I've worked at the plant coming up on 24 years now. It's been a thriving steel mill since I started. I've never been laid off.
At the Butler Works, we were thriving with growing demand for our steel on the horizon. EV markets and electrical infrastructure to support them, fueled by federal dollars, put us on the cusp of a boom. Then out of nowhere, along comes this DOE rule proposal that just pulled the rug out from under our feet. Now, instead of a tremendous growth opportunity, we're looking at a plant closure.
This is a rule that DOE will just bring out. They don't bring it out and then it goes in front of Congress and there's a vote on it. They set their new standard and there you go. And that's ludicrous.
We make grain-oriented electrical steel that's used in transformer cores, and the Department of Energy proposed a rule last January that would essentially regulate us out of the market by 2027.
The company has already told us that basically if the rule goes as proposed, that our plant will not be viable.
It would be an astronomical loss in this community. It would be almost an instant economic depression if this was to get enacted and force that to shut down.
You can imagine the impact that a loss of this plant or any decline in this plant would have on our county, our municipalities, our businesses, our local business, the manufacturers that support this plant and its operations, our school districts.
They say for every one of our jobs, we employ about 7 people in the community. If 7 people in this community, including us, 1,100 people, that's 7,700 jobs that could be out.
Usually we're fighting other countries for business, trying to stay competitive and stay in the market. And with this and the DOE rule, it seems to me like we're fighting our own government to try and keep our work in this country.
If we institute this rule and my plant goes out of existence, the only way that they could even come close to meeting the needs of this country would be relying on a foreign entity, the biggest player, and that is China. So you're going to take tax dollars out of my paycheck and use it to prop up the Chinese government.
We need people to be aware of this. You have to get behind your legislators and make sure that they're aware. There's a Senate bill. It's was introduced by Sherrod Brown of Ohio and co-sponsored by Ted Cruz, and it's a very bipartisan bill.
We are asking for common sense legislation and for common sense policies and trade policies that sustain our county and our community and obviously then protect our country.
It's a big issue, and that's why we're screaming at the top of our lungs, trying to get it out to everybody that we can talk to, anybody that'll listen to us. This has to be stopped.